Not every wave is pretty. Some are straight up gnarly, raw, unforgiving, built with zero margin for error.
Oh my God! He got worse. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Teahupo'o is one of those waves. A mutant left where the lip doesn't fall. It detonates. Thick, fast, and brutally precise. This isn't about style points. This is heavy water. Teahupo'o breaks on the southeast coast of Tahiti, in French Polynesia, right in front of a quiet village that lives its own rhythm until the right swell shows up. The lineup sits roughly 450 to 500 metres off the shoreline, clearly visible from land, directly over an extremely shallow coral reef, close enough to feel reachable, close enough to remind you how exposed it really is. The name Teahupo'o belongs to local myth and oral history. It's commonly linked to ideas of skulls, severed heads, or places of sacrifice, interpretations rooted in old Polynesian narratives tied to the area. There's no single literal translation, but the meaning has always carried weight. Long before surfing put a spotlight on the reef, the name already hinted that this was not a place to take lightly. The wave was never discovered. It was approached, slowly, by locals in the 1980s who began paddling toward a peak most people ignored. No headlines, no hype. Just people learning session by session what that reef was capable of. What makes Teahupo'o so extreme isn't size alone, it's physics. A deep water swell runs straight into a reef that rises abruptly, forcing the wave to stand up almost instantly. The result is a pitching lip that throws forward into a near-perfect cylinder. The coral below sits frighteningly close to the surface, which is why the barrel looks so surreal, and why wipeouts here are never casual. In the late 1990s, Teahupo'o stepped onto the global stage. One of the first major contests to do that was the Gotcha Pro Teahupo'o, where international eyes finally locked onto what locals already knew. Surfers like Rob Machado were part of that early chapter, at a time when nobody had fully cracked how this wave wanted to be ridden. That era blurred the line between competition and experimentation. For years, Teahupo'o was synonymous with big step-ups and guns, pure survival tools. But that thinking evolved. Machado himself spoke about showing up with what felt like the wrong board. Not because it was too small or too big, but because it didn't match the reef, the entry, the timing of the bowl.
After that first year, I mean, we all survived, like we did it, but I went straight home and reevaluated, 2 riding boards. I was like, I need a shorter board with the same amount of volume, because our boards were like.
Teahupo'o also crossed into popular culture. The surf sequences in Point Break were filmed here, using the real wave to portray the outer edge of big wave surfing. What audiences saw on screen wasn't a constructed set or a safer stand-in. It was Teahupo'o itself, with all the risk that comes with it. Within professional surfing, Teahupo'o is also one of the most anticipated stops on the World Surf League Championship Tour. The Billabong Pro, Teahupo'o is consistently marked as one of the heaviest, most consequential events of the season, where titles can be decided, reputations can change, and only surfers fully committed to critical reef surfing can contend. By 2024, Teahupo'o had reached another milestone, hosting the Olympic surfing events during the Paris Games in July 2024, chosen specifically because this wave represents the upper end of performance surfing when conditions align. Teahupo'o isn't about looking good. Teahupo'o is one of the most hard-hitting, mind-bending reef breaks on the planet, where commitment, timing, and respect decide everything.